It really is lovely to see you all on such a crisp morning. It's absolutely gorgeous. And talking about marketing, sure, what could be better? As Julie said, I'm Naomi Waite, and I have the privilege to be the Director of Marketing at Tourism NI. I'm conscious today there's lots of different types of businesses represented. There's councils, there's large businesses, there's small businesses, accommodation providers, attractions experience providers. But I think whatever the size of your budget, whatever the type and sector of your business, the fundamental principles of marketing remain the same. Know your market, lean into their motivations, and tailor your offer. And I hope as we go through this morning, you'll get a sense of how we try to do that in Tourism Northern Ireland and our marketing, both in campaigns and throughout the year in our Always On activity. And hopefully there's some tips that you can take away, whatever the size of your budget, your team, etc. If you're just starting out or if you're well-honed marketing professionals, to actually work through what does that mean for your business. We'll be about today too, of course, to chat over lunch as well. So this morning, I'm going to give you an overview of the spring campaign, look at how you can ensure your media choices reach each of the segments that Julie took you through, some tips on what we found works on our channels. So if you're sending content, etc., through to us, you know what is likely to work really well. And then just a summary of the wider marketing opportunities within Tourism Northern Ireland. So, as Julie said, our spring campaign is live at the minute across the island, and we're really quite excited about it as we have a whole new suite of fresh creative and some really new innovative media formats to reach the active maximisers that Julie told you about. And we need that because that really helps us create standout in the Republic of Ireland market, which has huge potential for us for growth. We've seen terrific growth over the last few years. And what we're hoping to do is showcase all of Northern Ireland, but the great value for money that you can get right across and hopefully inspire that interest, drive awareness for you to convert into sales and revenue, and most importantly, profit. So, it's not that we don't want all and every visitors, of course we do. But you have to focus your efforts on who your best prospects for success are. It's very easy, whatever the size of your marketing budget, to fritter it away, turn around and it's gone, and you can go, what did I achieve? So you really have to think about who are your best prospects. We do that through our research and insights, and we'll cover it again. There's a whole wealth of information on tourismni.com, and I really would say it's time well spent. I know you're all busy, a lot of things to do, but it is well worth taking some time out to read that through because there's really good guidance there. And that underpins the thinking behind all of our campaigns. So our spring campaign has been running since the 20th of January and will run right through until the 31st of March to really kickstart the season for 2025 and drive momentum. Easter is on the 20th of April this year, so we really want to get a good push and drive awareness and bookings over that period. And as I say, we'll be focusing on those people who are most likely to take a short break in Northern Ireland over the next few months. As I say, it's not that we don't want everyone, of course we do, but these, according to our research, are our best prospects. In Northern Ireland and the domestic market, therefore, we'll be targeting our aspiring families from the 20th of January right through to the end of March, and the social Instagrammers from the middle of February onwards. And in the south, we'll be focusing on those active maximisers who love to get out and about and squeeze a whole lot in as possible, and the indulgent relaxers who actually want to do the opposite. They want to unwind and treat themselves. Over the last few years in particular, we've welcomed a huge number of visitors from the south. They've never been before, and we know from our research that they really enjoyed themselves from all of the great experiences that you provided them. So not only do we want to attract more people from the south who haven't been up before, but we also want to get those people back and experiencing more of Northern Ireland for one giant adventure after another. Of course, the campaign is great, it's huge. We have across the island over 210 million opportunities to see, hear, and digital impressions right across radio, TV, outdoor, press, online, PR. But campaigns aren't the only show in town, and I think it's really important to remember this from your own marketing perspective. There are 52 weeks in every year, 52 weeks of opportunity to drive revenue, profit, and talkability. So our always-on channels are just as important as our campaigns. We use a number of different formats. So our always-on digital content is our ongoing social media throughout the year, both paid and organic. I'm sure Emma's going to be telling you how to maximise all of that. But PR as well, how we integrate that, and our influencer marketing too. That's, of course, live during the campaign activity, but also as well throughout the year. We use Google search as well to make sure we're driving all of that additional traffic to discovernorthernIreland.com for popular search queries. And we keep an eye on those, and I would suggest you do too, what people are looking for, because that really allows you to tailor your content. We know, for example, those aspiring families are increasingly looking for free things to do. So if you're an accommodation provider, dial that up, what there is free to do in your area. If you're looking to create offers, etc., always reassure the value for money as well. We also support the search with lead generation, data capture ads, and Facebook and Instagram to increase our email subscribers, and that is proving always incredibly successful, so something we'll continue to do. PR and influencer activity are really important arsenal, because third-party endorsement from people you know and trust and follow is worth so much. It has an increased value beyond paid advertising. So again, not only do we do that through the campaigns, but also throughout the year. And as I say, always on email marketing, do not underestimate the power of your database. But going back to the campaign, first of all, looking at the Republic of Ireland market, we have 2 million AdSmart TV impressions on both Virgin Media and Sky. They're targeting our active maximisers. And again, we're looking at peak spots on Virgin Media, like Love Island, All Stars, Living with Lucy, Ant and Dec, Saturday Night Takeaway. It gives you a flavour. They're really, again, targeting our media very closely, so there's no wastage. So if you recall what the active maximisers like, they like to get out and about, squeeze lots in, one giant venture after another. So if you bear with me and hope the clicker works, I'm going to take you through a couple of our campaigns. And because there's so much to show, we have another as well. So that shows how we've, I hope, not only reflected the beauty, the outdoors, the landscape of Northern Ireland, the variety of things that you can do, But for the active maximisers, it gives them reassurance there's lots they can squeeze in. This, of course, whilst it's the TV and I suppose the hero asset in any campaign, is just the tip of a much wider, much deeper campaign with many, many different layers and opportunities to showcase businesses right across the country. I talked about the importance of third-party endorsement. We have 2 travel editorial segments with the morning breakfast show on Virgin Media and Ireland AM. So again, that gives us access to another 196,500 viewers daily, and then the 6 o'clock show with another 150,000 viewers. So again, really good opportunity to tell people about the wide variety of things there are to see and do. And then, of course, TV. You could be led into thinking, well, sure, who watches TV? I don't have. Surely active maximisers don't watch TV. Well, they do. And they use RTE Player quite a lot to do so because they're out so busy during the day doing what they need to do and what they love to do. But actually, RTE Player is the most popular video on demand player in the South with 8 to 10 million streams a month. So that shows you the reach that it has. And almost half, 47% of active maximisers view content in RTE Player every week. So it is a hugely efficient way of reaching this audience in particular. So we've sponsored their top streamed drama box set content for the month of February. Again, 800,000 10-second stings positioned at the start of all box set content. Again, directing them back to discovernorthernireland.com and all of your listings, etc. there. The active maximisers get out and about quite a bit too, as you may guess. So out of home and outdoor advertising really showcases our landscapes in a way that no other format can do. But also it's a great way of reaching this audience. And again, we'll have a significant outdoor presence across the population centre of Greater Dublin. That'll reach about 807,000 pairs of eyes. But again, you can see the content. It's about excitement, energy, freshness. The 3 biggest motivators for people on the island to take a short break in Northern Ireland are to relax, unwind, and have fun. So I think our challenge is always to ask ourselves, which of those are we leaning into in every single aspect of our marketing? Is it the fun element and the energy? Is it relaxation, how to unwind, disconnect? And everything we say and do should be leaning into those. Otherwise, what's the point? You're not going to convince anyone. In the South, print and radio are still very strong media choices. So we'll also have content showcasing Northern Ireland in the leading titles, the Irish Times, the Independent and the Irish Daily Mail. And of course, they also have strong online presence too in their website. And we know in the South in particular, we need to build up people's knowledge of what there is to see and do, not just the big attractions and the well-known honeypots. And this longer form of content that you get in press allows us week by week to introduce them to another part of Northern Ireland. And in the campaign toolkit we'll talk about, you can see how the campaign moves right across Northern Ireland. And that allows them to get an idea of how they can plan their itineraries and give them ideas on what they can see or do, if not in their next trip, the one after. Because we know the great thing about print is people hold on to it as well. We are also, because it's the active maximisers as well, targeting AudioX, the largest digital audio supplier in the ROI market, so bigger than Spotify. So just think about that. And again, we've live host reads on Today FM and News Talk podcasts for that third-party endorsement. On our social and digital, Facebook and Instagram by far outweigh any channels with over 85 million combined impressions. And again, Google Display Network and YouTube, because video is so essential. I'm sure Emma will be reinforcing that. So that's the Republic of Ireland market. As I say, some nice new media formats. One thing coming on shortly is we'll be looking at user-generated content and influencer content. But in the Northern Ireland domestic market, our aspiring families are the biggest segment. And here's just a reminder of the TV ad, if by some mystery you've been living under a rock and haven't seen it yet. Few familiar spots, I think, right across Northern Ireland. The aspiring families are different from the active maximisers in the south. The active maximisers in the south, half of them have children, but they don't plan their short break around them. They want something that everyone can do, so it needs to work for everyone, but it is more a mindset. You know that sense of when you first have kids and you think nothing's going to change and your house is going to stay lovely and you're going to keep up all your routines, and then reality hits. Well, the active maximisers are still sort of in that bubble. They still like to get out and about. They'll bring the kids with them, but they still have that mindset of squeeze it all in and it's all about the experiences. The aspiring families plan their break around their kids, and they do like to plan, and they like value for money as well. So not necessarily cheap, but good value. But we do see with cost of living that this segment is impacted by that. So again, anything you can do that demonstrates how good value your offer is really important. Again, multi-format outdoor campaigns that you can see there, the likes of Grand Central, Lanyon Station, and again, over 21 million combined impressions on Facebook, Instagram, Google Display Network, and YouTube. Video content is key to some extent, so again, partnering with Belfast Live and Cool FM, their spring giant adventures on radio. Now, there's some lovely fresh content there, some of which you haven't seen because it's been in the south in particular. But the good news is that through our content pool, you can download a lot of this for free. We've created some social templates as well. So if you are not already registered for the content pool, I suggest you do so. And if you look up here, if I can get this to work, you'll see a little featured collections bit on it. Again, if you log in, you click on the featured selections, you can see all the spring assets. But it is a brilliant resource. You can search for things across themes, across counties, etc. So there's several thousand assets there that you can use to promote your business and your wider destination for free. And also, I suppose the important thing is to say that content pool is also shared with Tourism Ireland. So again, if you have created some beautiful content, send it through to us, and if the rights are there, we'll also share it with Tourism Ireland. So not only do we use it potentially in our marketing activity, but also partners can use it, including Tourism Ireland and their international promotion. So as I say, that is hopefully a really beneficial tool that can save you a lot of money, but more importantly, allows you to tie in to the wider campaign and get the halo effects of it. So that is some of the content, but looking at how do you reach, and I don't want to go into the digital side of this too much because I know Emma's going to be focusing on this, but I thought it would be worthwhile just looking around the ROI market in particular and how do we reach people, because I'm conscious people have lots of different budgets. Again, you know, they prefer to watch TV on demand and catch up like RTE Player and Virgin Media Player and Sky Video on Demand. It's no surprise, over 60% of them are on Facebook, Instagram every week, and they favour a combination of youth bias stations, so the likes of iRadio and Spin FM, as well as those digital audio platforms. And as I say, they're out and about, so out of home is great exposure because these guys are out and about socially and at their work life and commutes as well. So transport hubs, city centre locations reach these guys. They can be quite hard to reach, effectively. So if you have a smaller budget, 0 to 5K, again, I'd focus on the social side of things first. Organic, paid, and owned and earned email and PR as well. A 10K budget, again, looking at some paid Facebook, Instagram, then adding on YouTube. If you have access to 20,000 and you do not need it necessarily, if you don't, that's okay. Focus on these opportunities that we can give you. But if you do have it, again, then you could think about radio, digital audio, and very often if you work with the radio stations, they will do the production, they will make the ads for you. And again, owned and earned, never lose sight of what you have already. The open-minded explorers are the older segment, so they will certainly be a focus of our autumn campaign. We can't forget about them. They like TV like Virgin Media, and 3/4 of them, 70%, watch RTE1 every week. Around a third live in Sky households, so Sky Ad Smart Targeting, it can be a very efficient way to reach these guys, and 45% watch the RTE player every week, and 2/3 tune into their favourite radio stations every week. So again, maybe a radio competition prize is the way to go for you. And again, anything from a classified ad to the Irish Times and the Irish Independent in print and online can work wonders for business. So I'm not going to go through all of these now, but we will be sharing these and you can have a read through and have a think about, what are the opportunities. And I suppose the important takeout in this is, and Julie referred to the community, it is when we all work together, our content is so much more impactful and it creates a wonderful positive snowball effect in the marketplace. At this time of year, you can see the big travel companies, the international tour operators are all out advertising, promoting breaks in the sun, businesses from the south. So it really is important that we all work together to get the maximum cut through in the marketplace and get really noticed in a good way and use that momentum to drive business. So I would say download the toolkit on tourismni.com because there's great ways there and tips as to how you can reflect the brand and assets in there to allow you to do so. Another great source of information on tourismni.com is all of that wealth of research and insights. Say we use it to plan our own campaigns, but there's everything there from information on who the segments are, what they're looking for when they plan to travel, the sorts of breaks they're looking for, and the longer term market trends. So please do have a look at it, read through it, and I'm sure the Research and Insights team will be delighted to know that's going to good use because it is a wealth of information. Our social media and our own channels are also a valuable content platform for promotion of your businesses. And you can see there, we have roughly 300,000 combined followers, ready, willing, and more than able to promote every type of business across Northern Ireland's tourism industry. So what makes good content? Timely, relevant, and adding value. And I think, again, whatever size your business, whatever size your budget, those are always good questions to ask ourselves in our marketing activity. Is it current? Is it relevant to what people are looking for? And does it add value in their life, or will they just scroll by? Because it really needs to. This piece of content on the left, and I'll only play you an extract or we'll be here all day. There's so many lovely videos. I'll stop it there. But I can see a few toes tapping, so that's always a good sign. That is one of our most successful pieces of content on Instagram. It was a real created to promote the new hourly train service from Dublin to Belfast. To date, that's had, I think, over 440,000 views, released 3 days after the launch of the service, when there was a lot of public dialogue surrounding the route. So again, think about what visitors want to know about your place. Think about the logistics and the practical stuff they may not know because they don't know Northern Ireland, as well as the inspiration as to why they would want to find out more. So is your content timely? Is it relevant? Is there a topic that's already growing in popularity and you can provide your own take on it? Can you respond quickly to trends by creating content of your own? And I suppose, can you give that mix of inspiration and information that is really of genuine value to your target audience? Other things that we have found worked on our channels, again, are sounds. So what we find is professional imagery and video content doesn't perform as well when we post it organically. Social media users, by their very nature, and the active maximisers are probably, and the social Instagrammers, probably the most ruthless scrutineers of your content. They want authentic content that showcases the genuine experience of a location. So we use a lot of user-generated photography and video content for our reels. That's what performs well on our channels. And again, shot on a phone video content still needs to be good quality, or again, people won't pay attention, but doesn't need to be big budget cameras. And again, trending sounds have performed well. Anything that you can use to capture attention. And again, text on screen. What we've also found works very well is to build our audiences who are engaged with the content, you need to allow people to interact with it. So ask your questions, host polls, run contests, create a two-way conversation. That's why it's called social media. And it's unique as a channel in that way. So again, as your engagement grows, your organic reach will grow. And where it's possible, tag other people or businesses to encourage that sharing. Work within your destination and your partners. Again, organise collaboration posts to widen your reach together. This all sounds great in principle. It's just taking that moment to stop and think, how can we maximise that? And again, whatever size your business, it's always worthwhile stopping to think about that, because it's one of those things you can get so caught up in your own content plan and your own marketing that, it's really important to stop and think about that. And again, remember, sometimes it's just the luck of the algorithm in terms of what works, what gains traction quickly. And the best thing you can do is just keep consistently posting that content that's value and interest to your audience. That one was determined to get through. I'm going to skip through some of these because I'm conscious Emma's coming on too, and we have quite a bit to get through. We've worked in close partnership with a lot of stakeholders, including the councils, to create a 12-month thematic content calendar. And I suppose that gives you inspiration about the types of content we'll be publishing on our social media channels and website throughout the year. So again, you can download that calendar now, and again, think about how you could create content, both on your own channels, but to share with us. So we use paid social and digital, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google Search and Google Display. And 2/3 of our digital and social budget this year went to Facebook and Instagram. So again, we'd recommend starting out with those. And again, meta products, so you can seamlessly create, run, manage your ads again. Video and how we use that is something that where we see the highest level of ad engagement coming from. And again, this short video here reached over 127,000 clicks. So again, huge opportunity. Content goes, that's quite long. But you can see from the numbers there that it got high levels of engagement. Shot on a phone by one of our team in-house. So it doesn't take big budgets to be highly effective. And you can see that point of view style, that very natural, authentic, can work really well in showing people who don't know Northern Ireland what there is to offer, but also help them navigate through. We use video assets, obviously, and prioritise that, but we also use static carousel ads as well. And again, I'm sure Emma's going to take you through how to maximise those. So I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on that now. We have invested in creative, which taps into those key themes and interests of our target segments. And again, these are just examples to show how we flex those across different formats as well. So typically carousel formats, we find those work really well on our channels and get high levels of engagement. So again, we find they give an opportunity to showcase not just one experience, but different aspects of Northern Ireland. And again, you know, remarketing really allows you to drive content that inspires, enhances booking intentions, and actually for people who have already shown an interest, it can just push them over the line to convert. And again, what we have found is highlighting those specific offers and value for money works really well. And again, you know, this is from our autumn campaign where we used carousel ads to showcase a range of offers, and we saw really high levels of conversion. Influencers also provide a really good level of authenticity. Love them or hate them, their followers absolutely do. And again, that allows us to widen our reach organically. And they can be lower cost in terms of production compared to some other more traditional marketing methods. But the important point is that the consumers and their followers trust their recommendations. I'm not going to show all the content today. I'd love to, but I'm conscious of time, so I'm going to skip on through the highlights of Enniskillen. And again, you know, what's new in our latest campaign is we started using that influencer content and putting it into our paid ads. So from the 20th of February onwards, we're going to be targeting the social Instagrammers, etc., using influencer content on our billboards and our outside digital out of home. That's new for influencers right across the island, and it's new for us, but we know it's going to appeal to the segment. So again, I suppose the thought is don't be afraid to test new ideas, new formats and ways to reach it. You have to try these things and see. But if you are doing that, really, really follow. Look at your research, look at your insights, anything you can find to see that you're placing your budget where it's going to have the maximum impact. So I'm going to skip through all of this on influencers because of time. So, email marketing, build and grow your own database. Again, you know, use incentives, competitions to promote sign-ups. We also run lead generation ads as well as part of our always-on acquisition strategy. And as I say, they're very successful, but also think about your segments. Don't broadcast to everyone talking about everything. It'll just get scrolled past, hit delete. So again, think about your audience. How can you group them aligned to the segments? And again, you know, focus on quality over quantity. People are busy. They will value it and more likely to open it next time if there's something they find useful. So think about the time of year. What are people looking for? And again, use your insights to find what's working and do more of that. DiscoverNorthernIreland.com is our consumer website and it gets about 3.8 million visits annually. And again, you know, if you want to be promoted by tourismni.com, it really is the starting point of that journey. And we host on our listings content outputs, events, seasonal offers. So it really is important to make sure your listing's up to date. And again, we'd recommend updating it twice a year. Add event listings too if you're hosting events. Again, we use this as a starting point for our marketing channels. We'd recommend up to 9 photographs to your listing, but thinking about that content as well. You know, people don't just want to see a bed, they want to see it in context of where they will be staying as well. And again, in the description of your experience or your offer, think about how you can lean into what those audiences want to see, what they need to know. And again, align with their segments if you can. Think about the practicalities. They want to know about parking. They'll want to know about transport available. Any of those tips, that's what they need. And again, the basics, all the contact information, and check Google search for frequently asked questions because it surprises you sometimes what people are looking for and it can be so easy to address. So just to summarise then, discovernorthernireland.com is, I suppose, the engine room that everything comes from. So make sure that you have your listings and your content up to date. Use our content pool. If you're not already registered, do so for that because there's over 7,000 assets there that you can use. We're all bigger and stronger together under Embrace the Giant spirit. So please do download the toolkit. And there is a spring marketing toolkit on tourismni.com which gives you some more detail on the campaign and the segments. Always lean into the latest research and insights. And again, use the content calendar. Feel free to get in touch with Victoria. Our contact details are there for promotion on Tourism NI and PR. So that was a whistle-stop tour. I'm conscious there was a lot there, so feel free to have a chat at lunchtime. Thank you very much.
Thank you.